Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cosmos. All right. Hey, I think we're like 2 for 2. 2 streams in 2 weeks at roughly the same, roughly the same time.
Yep.
I think that's a win, right?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right. So, we're going to play everybody's favorite game. There are 4 of you. Did we have? Oh no, I recapped last time, so none of you are safe. All right. Let's actually start in the middle and work our way out. Let's start with Daniel.
What?
Sassy. Number 1 through 4. Pick a number.
3.
Okay, and then to the right, computer.
4.
And then back to the left, James.
1.
Okay. Mike. I'm calling everybody Mike nowadays. Scott, that makes you 2. So. I know, I'm sorry. All right, James, there's some payback. What happened last week?
We fought a bunch of spooky monitors who had like a deletion beam, but we found out that Kirik can also cheat because he's playing this like a game of Total War. So he just moved all the units around. We fought them. We got our asses kicked a little bit, but we also kicked their asses. And then it turns out that like Malothia's translator died because of Malothia's interference with the memory. But when we interrogated her about it, she was like, oh yeah, that happened anyway. But then, why did she do that? Urvis killed a motherfucker really brutally, and everyone was like, yo, that's not cool. And then she was like, yeah, that's not cool. And they're like, alright, it's cool, fam.
I thought she was gonna go, I am the law.
You cannot judge me, for I am justice itself.
That's what I thought was gonna fucking happen.
Nah, later. One day she will be able to say that when she's 20th level and can turn into a godly avatar. But,
That doesn't mean you can kill the shopkeeper.
the paladin hits level 20, is tired of being nice. But yeah, so that happened. Malothia came back and was being like a total bitch, as usual. And we pointed out all the ways that she's a bitch, and she was just like, oh yeah, well, you smell. And then we found out that those monitors were hers, not Urves's, which kind of makes me wonder, did we delete parts of her brain when we did that? Is that why she acts so stupid? And then she's like, you've got one more video game memory to go through before you're done here. I will stop you all, he-men.
But,
And
I
fucking
mean,
Stranger got her with the it was Stranger who was like, why'd you hit yourself with that poison dagger? And she was like, shut up, you're a robot.
Stop hurting yourself, stop hurting yourself, stop hurting yourself.
And then we were like, yeah, it's almost like you're just punishing yourself by living these memories over and over and over. And then she ran away. So right now we're just kind of like, well, there's that. And Kirik's like, yes, you need to go and do that final memory so that we can be done with this plot thread.
wow.
Wow.
We're getting all meta on me. Make me feel bad.
Hey, we haven't had Project Severovo for a while, so the meta energies are starting to leak out of me.
I see. Anything anyone else wants to add? Considering this will all be your last session, you might want to say something.
Now I feel like I'm like missing something. I'm like, shit. What are we missing,
Because my
guys?
recommendation would be, bend over, grab your knees, and kick your... God damn it, how do I fuck that up? Kiss your ass goodbye, but, that's just me.
4 hours of sleep will do that to you.
You're not fucking wrong. Okay. Fuck. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. Alright, so... what? Things? Yes. Not sure why I put the comma there. It sounds a whole lot more snarky now.
Yes, scary.
He probably deserves it. That's a great way to go through life, by the way, everybody. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get my ducks in some semblance of a row. Fuck. So, at this point, Malathi is left. She's turned into mist and disappeared back into she's turned into mist. Hey, not very nice. And disappeared. This memory has remained frozen. The flaming wagons, the mud-covered soldiers, the bodies. Let's see, Keurig. You would
Yes?
notice that a beacon, excuse me, has appeared on the map. It seems to be coming from Galrock's axe. It seems to be glowing with an effervescent white energy.
So you're saying it's
I
coming
will
from the Galrax?
Ha.
Okay, see you all next week. I'm out.
Yep. All right. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. See you next week. Bye. No. All right. What? That being
Yeah,
said,
So,
yeah.
if you wish to move on, go touch the axe.
Yeah, Galrock's axe. This has been sunk into a stump on the side of the road. The axe is bit deep into the wood. Before you guys
So
leave,
I
is there
can't
anything
pull it out?
I mean, I don't know. Potentially.
Remember what happens when you touch it, you just get pulled into the next one.
That being the case, is there anything you guys wanted to inspect here before you left?
Good question.
Was there anything left at all of the monitors when they died, or did they just completely disappear?
Yeah, they the white sparks, basically.
Yeah.
There's nothing left.
No residue, no anything.
Nothing.
That's about all I could think of.
Yeah, and little Malathi is off scene, right?
Oh, I mean, she's still in scene. She's just dead. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Is that the question you were asking?
Young Malathia is dead?
Oh, no. I was thinking,
Huh.
yeah, Finara. My bad. Yep. I'm sorry if that confused anybody.
Amar will take this
she's
chance to
still
get
in
a.
frame.
Amar will take this chance to get a good closer look at her face.
Yeah. I want to see what if anything I can figure out about her.
You do have a way that you can make the DM tell you what you figure out.
Do I really want to figure out what each role is gonna do?
Let's see. You want a closer look? The good thing is I have a picture around here somewhere. The bad news is I have a picture around here somewhere. But just for convenience sake, so as you know, she is a half elf, and at this, compared to Uraves, she seems to be a little bit younger than the Uraves in the memory. So maybe 120, 115. This is Amar, so he would be able to tell.
Yeah.
Raven hair, fair skin, and it's kind of her eyes aren't, they're kind of a stormy gray, especially right now because it looks like while she's turned away from everyone else, she's been crying, and so her eyes are red. Closer inspection, you do see Amar. She slouches.
Yeah.
Actually, you're almost wondering if it's not more of a slouch kind of thing or something potentially with posture. Posture. Wow. Can I explain that any worse? Uh, what I was going to say is looks as if she favors one leg over the other, and that's kind of sunk her into kind of a crooked shoulder stance. Um, this close, you would be able to see that there are. I'm trying to think. You can see actually from on the left side, kind of on the nape of her neck, there's the beginning of what kind of looks like a scar. It's not fresh, but it's healed poorly. So it's one of those thick, knotted, kind of ugly scars. Something got her, and something got her good.
Interesting. Do we see Demon Malathia with that kind of scar ever?
You don't. At least not to your memory.
Interesting. So she's got a scar.
It
It's
could
not
be
showing up.
because Malathia is a different creature, basically. She doesn't have the same scars anymore.
Maybe.
It could be that it's not Malathia at all. Just took the name to mess with her events.
That's what I was thinking.
And who was it?
Can I check the body of the
There is a
girl?
body here.
Mr.
You want
DM,
to
what was her name again? Finara?
Finara.
Alright, we'll have to remember that, because it might be Finara.
Remember,
Would I really do this to you guys? Would I
Yes.
really?
Yes.
Why? Come on, be honest with yourselves. Scott, back me up here. Would I really do that to you guys?
I plead the fifth.
Wow, a lot of help you guys are. Anyways, let's see. Ooh, another actually kind of important thing about you notice. Let's see.
While we're doing this, I just realized Rawl has a perfect feat for this, as he's going to be combing over the area.
Oh yeah.
and how do you spell her name, by the way? Not Malathia, the other girl.
Finara? Hold on. Ageless patient. Huh?
So you get a +2 to any perception check.
Oh, you know what? Do I have that?
Yes, you don't treat natural ones as worse than usual.
Shit, I should pay attention.
So I suppose you're making a perception check
Yeah.
here? Okay.
No, I
And
don't
what are you
have-
perceiving?
He's looking over everyone at the scene, the two human, Captain Caveman and Captain Cavewoman, Galrock.
That's gonna
Malathia.
stick, isn't it?
Yes.
That's nice.
It's me. I'm a shitty meme lord.
Fair. I honestly don't know what else to tell to tell you about that except okay. Other thing you might notice. Another thing
Sorry.
you might notice is she lacks a scabbard for any sort of weapon.
Finara did.
No, Malathi. Still talking to.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
So Finara never had a weapon.
It looks like it. Maybe there's, some information that you guys that got lost in the shuffle while you guys, were, memory hopping, but she doesn't seem to have a weapon.
Interesting.
Maybe. It might be interesting. It might not. Who knows? I guess that's all in the eye of the beholder. Anyways, so I'm sorry, James. You'll have to remind me what you're looking for again with your 34. With your specialize.
With my 36.
Yes.
He's examining all of the party members that Urabes was with.
That's right. Okay, so Snell and Krant, Snelled and Krant. You noticed. Okay, so you would probably notice what's not there as opposed to what is. So before they had. All right, you want to call them. Yeah, you want to call them cavemen, whatever. They definitely, that styling was there. Okay, furs, leathers, and I believe he had just a giant fuck off tree branch for a club. That's gone. Instead, he's got a two-handed axe with reverse. So it's an. I believe it's just called a war hammer. It's a hammer on one side, and you've got an axe on. With her, you don't remember her having any weapons the first time you saw her, but she's currently wielding dual rapiers. I'm not sure you would call that akimbo. I think that's specifically for firearms. But anyways. oh, there we go. I found the picture. I just need to upload it. What else? Trying to remember now. Galrock, well, I guess so. For them, they also seem to be. I forgot about the finery. Their finery is finery. Their clothing is now closer to the style you would see of Sinister. It's elven style, but it's been tailored to fit them, which kind of makes sense. Uraves probably would have probably mentioned at some point potentially having to have the same thing done, just because she is an exceptional being, especially even among the elves,
Yes, go to the big and tall elf store.
The
You're gonna love the way you slay, I guarantee.
Jesus.
You're gonna love the way you slay.
There we go. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, I'm grabbing the picture. And dumping it into... But, what else? I'm even thinking about things like... Yeah, because now you have time to, look at them in a kind of a freeze frame. So you're going to pick up on different things. For them, other than just the differences than the first time you saw them, at least in kind of this still, you can't tell much. And by the way, here is that picture of
Baby Malathia.
Baby Malathia. Yes. So, take that as you will.
Actually, something that would make sense for Rawl to do is he's going to go over to the corpse of Finaro
Uh-huh.
And will you allow me to make another check with Ageless Patience? Because it can work on skill checks.
Or skill check. If you're willing to take a little bit of time, yeah. What are you doing, though? Are you making a sketch, or are you...
He's basically doing he's not doing like an autopsy, but he's doing like a very close medical exam, if that makes sense. Not to find what killed her, because that's probably pretty obvious. But just like examining the body and seeing if there's anything that seems wrong or like it's been tampered with, since we know that Malathia can fuck with the memories. And we're still not entirely sure if Finara was supposed to die.
Because the memory got altered.
So.
Yikes.
Ooh. Ooh. So that's a 44.
With a nat 20 roll.
Roll? The first time you saw Finara, the first memory, what was she? Race.
She was either a human or a half-elf. I forget which.
Anybody else remember?
I don't remember.
I thought she was a human.
I'm thinking half-elf.
Malathia is the half elf.
I thought that's my thing. I was like, were they both half-elves? Was she human?
Scott, you're the tiebreaker. Was she a human or was she a half-elf?
I still think it was the half elf.
Okay. You guys, well, yeah. She
Have
was
horrible memories?
She was a half-elf,
Hey!
but she's not here.
What? What is this?
You can tell that how to put this. With your 42, you are able to tell basically she's had a facelift.
She's had plastic surgery.
You can see that there are lines about it just off.
Does this look like it was medically done, or was it magically done?
Magic.
You know, that's something we don't really think about is, if magic existed, you could get all the plastic surgery you wanted just by waving your fingers.
Almost because most
Something
of it's
that you
temporary.
Something that you would know, when I say magic, more specifically, Raul, you could think of some alchemy that could do this.
Hold on.
Garrett can make a gender potion.
Hold on. Does she
holding.
bear any of the telltale marks of being a homunculus? You got really quiet.
I don't know. Look me in the eye, James.
Is she a homunculus?
Is she a homunculus?
Is she Among Us?
Is she a homunculus?
Nero sus.
Yeah, Finara would be feeling pretty sus right now, so I'm gonna say she is Among Us.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. I fucked up the word, okay?
No, that's
No,
actually
you
funny.
didn't.
Like, I thought that's what you meant, was to do the Among Us thing.
No.
Susmara.
Yes, James. Or should I say yes, Raul?
Jeez.
This is yes, and by your estimation, yes, a human homunculus that for one reason or another had taken some incredibly painful, you would know, some incredibly painful alchemical potions to alter her face.
Yeah, that roll would actually sit up and do a double take, do a triple take, and look to the others and say, and point down at Finara's corpse and say, she's not really a human.
Oh no, she's a half-elf.
Or a half-elf.
Then what is she?
He points to some of the alchemical runes on his body and says, she's a homunculus like I was. She's a being created of alchemy.
Could she be Malathia?
It's possible. It could be that with her connection to Malathia, she's either Malathia's creation or whoever made her instructed her to be Malathia's protector. Because most homunculi don't have souls.
And perhaps she's angry at Urives for letting her die.
No, but look at this. And he points to her face with these strange lines that probably takes a little bit for people to recognize this. There are very rare alchemical formulae out there that it's dangerous, it's painful, and it can cause lasting damage, but you can alter your appearance to appear like another race.
Everyone pause. Ral, open your character sheet.
Yes.
Look at the tab to the right of spells.
Yeah, I saw that and I screamed inside because now I gotta transfer my whole book over.
There's an alchemy page, y'all. Sorry. Continue.
I have to transfer
I freaked
over
out
my
a little
whole
bit.
book.
Kieran
and
does
all
as
my
well. It's
bombs.
okay. But now there's actual like
Right.
modifiers, things you can check off. It's gonna make it a little bit easier. Select a formula to craft.
That's so nice. That's so nice.
Yeah, and unlike
wait.
spells, there's
Oh,
not
this
as
is-
much to enter.
Oh, this is just for alchemists. I thought it was gonna be for my other alchemy stuff. Lame.
Yeah. It's incredibly painful. It can cause lasting damage, but you can alter your appearance to appear like another race. What if, and perhaps I'm losing my mind, but what if Malathia isn't Malathia?
That's what I'm thinking.
But my question is, Finara would have had to have had a soul in order to become a demon,
Correct.
but it's not impossible for a homunculus to have a soul. Sometimes souls, when they travel from the ethereal plane, can't find the vessel they're supposed to have and come to inhabit an empty vessel. It's similar to how when an android dies, they don't really die, but the soul leaves and goes to the boneyard, and no one inhabits their body.
That is correct.
So the question becomes, whose soul was in the homunculus?
Could have been a completely new soul. Or perhaps Finara was made to be like I was created to be, a vessel for my brother's soul. What if she was created to be a better body for Malathia? Malathia was mute, after all. Finara wasn't.
They seemed like friends. I don't think that was the case.
And it wouldn't make sense for any member of any church, well, any good aligned church, to do it because, well, you know, the soul magic, the transference of souls is dangerous.
Samir can do it.
Yeah, but apparently, according to the lore, it attracts the attentions of demons and daemons.
Well, Samir can at least pop a soul out of a body. He can't really transfer you to another body.
God, I love this game.
Yeah. Just saying, the option is still available. If we fail this mission, Samir can just walk up, pop Urivess out of her body, and then everyone can just, like, at least Samir and Kirit can just spirit blast the fuck out of Malathia. Because it literally says,
Kamehameha!
kill Malathia, and then Urivess goes back to her body completely unharmed.
Are you sure that's how it works?
Spirit blast
Are you sure that's how
literally
it
says
works in this
it only
campaign?
damages the spirit possessing the body. And so if Urivess is out of the body, it'll only damage Malathia. It actually does no damage physically. It does damage directly to whatever is possessing the body. I'm just saying. That's straight up how the spell is described. I can link it if I can find Kirik's page. Here we go, Kirik. Go to your spells.
Yeah, but how much damage can the soul do before you blast it out?
Or, how traumatic is it to get kicked out of your own body, be a floating soul in space for a little bit, and then shoved back in?
It can also damage projecting consciousness. So if someone just appears in front of us like, ha, I am just an ethereal form projecting my... Ow! What the fuck?
Soul!
Kirik
You can't
in the
really...
background.
Bob appears before a soul. You thought you could stop... Ow!
Kirik just pointing a finger. Aye.
That wasn't very nice. And now I'm going home. Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I'm taking me
Like
ball
my
and me
balls,
bob. I'm
going
taking
out.
me bobs. I'm taking me bobs and I'm going home. He just reaches out, starts picking up bobs one by one.
Can I feeble mind a Bob? I want a feeble mind a Bob. I want my own Bob. Anyways, let's get back on track.
Yeah. See, he's gonna let
Oh,
all of
you
these
guys have a lot of
theories.
theories. Yeah.
That's just a
Wow.
theory. A demon theory.
Thanks for watching.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last episode of Cosmos. Gunner's gonna go into his room, cry, and start working on the next campaign.
Could you do a similar examination of Malathia to see
Ooh.
what you can find out?
The current Malathia or the one here in the past?
The one
Perhaps.
here in the past.
Hmm.
It would take
Well,
time.
to
If there's
do
one
that,
thing that
you would
Urivess
need
taught me, it's how
time.
to look at things as an elf does. And they really don't understand that most people don't want to spend 30 minutes doing things. But if that's alright with all of you, and if it can... Kirik, will that affect your spell at all if we take more time?
I want to say that you have all the time you need, although I'm getting a little peckish.
Oh, don't eat us, or something.
Excuse me.
I don't know how this works, he says, yelling up at the sky.
An argument with God. I think a lot of priests look up at the sky and yell that.
Alright, that's just a 37. But just a 37.
Ah, God.
Hey, he's a
What's
mess.
your goddamn... You're James! You're not supposed to fucking roll high!
He has a plus 22 to medicine. It's what he's good at. He's a chirurgeon.
Okay, before we do this, is there anything anybody else wants to do here?
No, I'm just sitting on the
Okay.
ground.
Anything anybody else wants to look at?
I'm
I
just sitting
didn't
on the
talk about
ground.
Galrock. I didn't talk about the caravan, the guards, anything like that. Are we fine with the information you guys have?
Is the cheese really as big as it appeared on the map?
I don't know. You're currently working on something else. Someone else will have to.
Someone else go look at the cheese.
I was just trying to think.
Stranger do 5 rolls so he has to talk about the history of the cheese.
Stop that. Not the cheese.
Do you want to make your 5 rolls? Go right ahead. Everybody else is searching. Why don't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to see what I can. Okay. Let's see.
He's taking
whole-
it all in as we all figure out everything.
Basically, because the entire group was jumped by bandits.
Is he having a beautiful minds moment?
Yeah. All the equations flying across his field of vision. Yeah, probably.
I was thinking closer to like numbers.
Yeah, equations usually involve numbers. They're just numbers.
No. The TV show Numbers.
Oh, yeah, that too.
You know, the guy who solves crime with math.
Yep.
That's disgusting. I hate it.
Or scorpions.
Yep. Probability. Fucking sucks. I hate it. God damn, we never should have stopped. We should have just stopped after we fucking were able to count to 10. I know how many bagels are in my papaya bag. That's all I need.
Why did we make our equations all base 10? Why can't we be like the ancients who had a math system of base 6?
Well, honestly, it would be a lot easier if our numbers were base 8, because our computers, think in base 8.
Yeah, but that's really hard to do with like big things like astrology or astronomy. I always get them backwards.
They're all made up numbers anyways.
True.
All numbers are made up.
I'm not even going to open that can of worms. All right, are you going to make your roll, computer? Or are you planning on doing that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what. I'm not going to do anything having to do with the goddamn cheese. So I don't think crafting's in there. Let's see. I'll do deception, trying to see if, how well or badly the ambush was planned. There's that. Nature, to see if they hid themselves well enough to be actually considered a real ambush, or was somebody on the in the group in on it and led them to this spot. There's that one. Religion, because clerics. See if anything having to do with religion has anything to do with this. Also, society, because we live in one. One more. Thievery. Was this group of people in these positions a good plan to attack and steal anything from anybody? There.
Okay, before we open this can of worms, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Scott, no?
Well,
Daniel
I'm
and
just
Amar,
sitting by
no?
the sword.
Amar
Just
already looked over.
I know you did.
Malafia
Is there
and noticed
anything
the scars.
else?
I feel like there's something we're missing by the way he's constantly having us.
Once we leave here, you can't come back. That's the only reason I'm doing this. If somebody has a question down the line of, what kind of cheese were they hauling? I don't know, you didn't look.
Did
Gruyere.
Demon Malathia have anything on her? Like a
Memory
personal
Malathia?
item? No, Demon Malathia.
Oh, Demon Malathia.
Has she been carrying anything other than, just being a demon? Or does she have any marks?
Ooh. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Alright. I'll
We'll
roll
circle
perception.
back.
Since I
Roll me a
haven't fought.
perception, please, yes. At this point, it would have been a recall. Yeah, that works. Okay. I love this. Let's start with computer's thing here first. Computer.
Yes.
Deception. Honestly, bandits really didn't have that. I'm not gonna say good, because I mean, what ambush plan is really good unless it's successful? This wasn't, so it wasn't bad. But it doesn't seem convincing. Furthermore, with your nature and religion checks, they're going to kind of tie together. You happen to notice, let's see, would your character recognize? Yeah, pretty much. Could. Okay. We need to rewind and go back to the moments. Okay. So, I'm actually going to drag you guys here. So, this isn't important to put on the screen necessarily, but okay, these guards.
Yep.
You can tell they're not actually dead. They're fake.
Huh.
What's more important,
You can choose.
is actually no. Okay, so it wouldn't be nature and religion tying things in. It's religion and society tying. Your eyes are drawn to the cheese wheels and the potato, but not because they're cheese wheels and potatoes, but because of what's hiding under the cheese wheels and potatoes.
Were these cheese wheels cheese mules?
No,
These mules.
I mean, it depends. You can't really tell what's under the cheese. At least, what draws your eye is the fact that there's what looks to be a lot of, well, so contrary to what this looks like in the cart, these cheese wheels are stacked very orderly. Like it's almost like a giant brick of cheese wheels. But looking through, you can see through these, through the kind of the holes. There are crates underneath these cheese wheels.
Huh.
And these potatoes? Well, you're not sure if they're alive or dead. There are bodies hiding underneath these potatoes.
Huh. Something
I
about
pass this information on.
And I'm sorry, that's thievery. That's going to be for your thievery stuff. Religion and society is the fact that all of these guards, now that you've had a chance to slow down and take a look, behind the right ear, they have a symbol. A symbol I think you recognize. You aren't sure where you remember it from, but I'm assuming that that's pretty par for the course for you.
Yeah.
Right. They
Nothing like an
all-
amnesiac android.
They all have the symbol of Rovag.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pull out Lost Omens, Gods and Magics.
A symbol of who?
Rovagug.
Rovagug. Rovagug. The rough beast Pokemon. No.
Is that the one that's the mother of all monsters?
The god of destruction, disaster, and wrath. As far as you remember, as the stories go, stranger, he was imprisoned within the planet's core. This is the one moment in history where gods of every alignment worked together to seal away this evil. And in most, for us, we would think of it like Apophis from the Egyptian myths, or oh gosh, the other
Fenrir?
giant snake. Yeah, yeah,
The
from
Jormungandr?
Norse mythology.
Jormungandr.
Yep. Yeah, basically, when it the day that Rovagug is released from their prison is the day that the world ends.
Yeah.
And these
In this
people-
book, it says allies, none, enemies, and then it's just every god.
Yep. Its edict: destroy all things and free Rovagug from his prison. Anathema: create something new. Let material ties restrain you. Really? Huh. I guess I'm not sure if this. I mean, I guess this is a good thing. The one thing that Rovagug is kind of, against that is bad is torture.
Yeah, he probably just wants them dead.
Just destroy him.
Yes, destroy it. Your
You're
job is
wasting
to
your time.
destroy, not toy. Yeah, not toy with him. Destroy it. So, while you're thinking about that, going back to Amar and your perception.
I'm in danger.
The one thing that you can think of that ties, well, the Malathia here to the Malathia, that has been terrorizing you guys is, well, okay, so the two things. One, the hip pouch.
The what?
Malathia has a hip pouch.
hip
I said that she didn't have, any weapons. I neglected to mention the fact that she does have a hip pouch. This one looks handmade. It's kind of a raw, untreated leather, along with we'll call them not bone buttons, but definitely bone has been used to kind of act as a clasp. So basically a bone button. And that's what cements it for you in your mind of, yes, it's the same one. I see. And a bangle on the left.
Bangle.
Mm-hmm. A gold bangle. Plain, but a gold bangle. This one doesn't seem to have any writing on it as you're looking at it with Malathia.
And this is from the demon Malathia, right?
Both.
Oh, they both Malathias have this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
No. So. James. Or should I say Rawl? So let's start with something that Amar picked up on. Yes, there is a scar at the nape of neck right here. But you can kind of see, and as you go to kind of touch it, you realize it's kind of like a mannequin frozen in place here, and you can kind of trace where this scar is, down towards the center of her back. And there, you can also feel the ridges of a lot of scars. Probably 10, 12. And as far as you can tell, they go from nape of the neck all the way down to the hip. Like thick, knotted ropes. So that's the start. Now, she actually is a half elf. A half elf. But
But...
Can you see the finger I'm holding up? It means un momento, por favor.
Sorry, I wasn't looking
No.
at Discord.
You're good. I'm just giving you shit. What if I told you that this one's a homunculus too?
One soul split into two. You kill one off, and what do? Two souls once were one, and now it's all torn apart, and a demon.
Well, fuck, that makes our job a lot harder, because the whole thing we're trying to fucking do is find out her goddamn name, and now it turns out she has 2 names!
Well, this one's Mal, and the other one's Lathia. They got
Mel, not Mel, huh?
split. Or Mel, whatever. I was thinking Ral. This one's Mel, and the other one's was Lathia or something.
Finara, Malathia. This better not be some puzzle where it turns out they're like anagrams for something, because I hate anagrams.
Yeah, and it doesn't spell Rumpelstiltskin, so I have no clue.
Dude, that'd be a fucking hard cut if this was all just a Rumpelstiltskin plot.
James would be like, and stopping stream, going to bed, bye.
So, I think I've given you guys some things to chew on. Or maybe it's more appropriate to say claw on.
Yeah, there's a question. What caused these scars? I want to know how she got these scars. Was her father a drinker?
Wow.
No. I'm just gonna put that out there. No. Why do you do this to me, James?
Someone makes a player character out homunculus, everything's fine. DM makes an NPC homunculus, everyone loses their minds.
Okay, you can stop that right now, Mr. Heath Ledger.
I didn't do the really creepy Heath Ledger Joker constantly licking at his lips thing.
Odd. Anyways, is there anything else you guys would like to investigate before we leave?
Not that I can think of.
I think I have what I need, I hope.
Raul is gonna pass on this information that, Malathia's one too! What did you know?
So,
Ain't that just the darndest thing?
Mrs. Echinacea, stop it.
And there's no way of digging through the potatoes to see who or what the bodies are?
I don't know, you could try.
Sure, he'll try. Are they still on fire?
Maybe.
Tell us about people pretending to be... I guess it's a dream. You killing them won't make a difference. I don't think we can walk around stabbing all the people pretending to be dead, but...
I mean, you could, but this is Uraves's memory.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Nah.
I mean, you saw what destroying moderators did to fucking Malathia.
Or should
Or
we
did nobody
say
pick up on
Finara?
Did nobody pick up on that?
Oh, how she was
What?
like all cut up and bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
It's like
destroyed
all
her
of the-
spirit.
It was like all the attacks that we did to them hit her instead.
So
She
I suppose you should keep that in mind for the future.
She was a little melty.
Melty. All right.
If I can see the crates and the bodies, this means that Uraves remembers them and knows what they are.
I mean, so you want to move the potatoes, right?
Yeah.
Moving the potatoes, you do find what appear to be figures. The problem is they're blurry. Like low res, looking at, a 180p picture blown up to 10 times its original size.
Yeah,
Right,
they
'cause
didn't finish loading in. Gotcha.
Or better example yet, playing Cyberpunk 2077 on an original PS4.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
What were you saying, Daniel?
No, he got it. Like, because she couldn't remember them because she never saw them.
But she did know that there were people there and there were crates there.
It was a hazy part of the memory. It's something that subconsciously she might have recognized, seen, but her conscious was not able to recognize it for what it was.
The ears hear things that the mind will never register. Same with the eyes.
Yeah, the blind spot.
Her attention was somewhere else in that moment.
Yeah.
Probably, the dead people, but yeah.
Probably the, trying not to die herself.
But she can't. She's alive in the future.
But she doesn't know that.
Okay, so I can't die right now because somewhere in the future I'm still alive.
Yes. Totally. Let's not test that theory.
This is some
No,
real
let's not,
circular
please.
logic.
This is why time travel doesn't work, okay?
But it could.
Which is why I'm not doing time travel. I'm doing dimension travel, which is fundamentally different.
Yes,
How?
Rick Sanchez.
I don't know. Rick Sanchez? I
Bro,
don't even recognize that name, to be honest.
Rick and Morty.
5-minute journey in and out, Raw.
I don't know, Rick.
I
This
don't.
sounds kinda sus to
I
me,
don't
Rick.
do time travel.
I don't know, Polvari. This doesn't sound like it. Just get in the fucking time machine.
God. Okay, so we've spent we've only spent an hour bullshitting. So, is there anything else you want to look at before we head out?
Oh,
Alrighty. Well, Fagara, take it away. Sorry, Anduin.
Try to pull the axe out and as soon as I touch it.
Yeah, as you touch it, you feel actually you're not sucked into the axe. Everything kind of shifts. You know that feeling when you were a kid and you decided, I'm just gonna spin until I'm dizzy, and you stop, but the room keeps moving? That's what this feeling is.
Or being really, really drunk and you want to go to sleep.
Ooh, don't remind me. Yes. Basically, there's that moment as everything's moving around you and your inner ear is like, hold on, no, we're not moving, but we're moving. What the fuck's going on? But things kind of start to fade into a grayscale before turning back into that hallway that you guys were in. For Kirik's sake, it just dims. He gets a loading wheel, and then it's back into back into the hallway. So, you guys are back in the portrait-lined hallway.
Has Malathia ever bothered us here in this hallway?
Not yet.
Because we're also just going to be like, Malathia, are you here? Or anywhere?
You get no response.
Malathia, I've come to bargain!
Mamu, I've come to bargain.
You get no response.
What a bitch. He's just like,
You
what
cut
a
out, by the way.
bitch. Getting real sick of this crap.
And this is why I wish there was an NPC there. Fucking great. But
Darn, I wanted that axe.
Well, we're in memories. The axe might still exist somewhere, or it could have disintegrated with time. It's only been like 200 years.
I'll just remember what it looks like and make it myself.
There you go.
Fair.
That's spirits.
Mm-hmm. Smart idea. Keurig,
Yeah.
you can see down this hallway there is a new painting that is lit. And your little wheel of balls to choose from has, rolled over to the next color ball. Let me just remind myself. This one, oh, by the way, so the black ball has morphed into, I believe I mentioned this last time, but just to mention it, is tinged with, I've already used the word effervescent, but kind of, it's a bright, almost emerald green that pulses. And this time, you do hear a voice. Changes say.
Well, fuck.
Wow.
I can fix that. It's only minor.
That's not good.
Only minor changes.
So, but yeah, now this one in front of you is a brightly glowing. It's not even a cherry red. It's like a fire truck red ball floating in front of you.
Yeah?
Yeah, peering
Yeah,
into it. Go ahead.
Yep, I was like, he'll look into it, see what was coming.
Well, you see the glimpses you do see are of ballista, trebuchets, walls of spikes.
Roman catapults?
Fire. No, because trebuchets are just better.
Better.
But they're not nifty or trendy. Can they damage the walls of a barbarian settlement?
If you're going to use them for defense, you don't need to use them for attack.
I know, I just love Roman catapults.
I can tell. God. I don't even know what that's from. I'm sorry.
It's just that one meme I linked where it was just someone like trying to sell Roman catapults.
So, but as far as you guys can tell, you're just in a, yeah, you guys are back in this hallway, and you haven't heard anything from Malathia wanting to bargain.
Okay, what's next? I'll jump through the next one. That was kind of
Heard
fun.
you say they were trafficking. Do you believe they could have been more homunculi?
Theoretically, it's possible, but that would mean they'd have to be in league with a very powerful alchemist, and you said that they were working for Rovagug? They can't create new things if they're working for Rovagug. That would go against the vile beast, the rough beast.
A fucking shrug,
Maybe.
though.
But that would also mean that Urvaz was unwittingly working for Rovagug.
I mean, who knows what gods we're secretly working for with their constant extraplanar conspiracies. This could all be an Asmodeus plot for all we know.
Ooh, good eye. I'll have to remember that.
Asmodeus, Asmodeus, Asmodeus.
Everything is an
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus plot. Nothing is an Asmodeus plot.
Asmodeus. Sorry.
No, no.
Rock Me Asmodeus sounds like a pretty cool song. Yes.
Something
So-
that a lot of lawful evil paladins like to sing.
So what's the plan?
Well, this is Super Mario 64, and we got all the stars out of that painting. So we're gonna do the backwards hop thing to get up the stairs.
Look for, well, a painting of palisades and spikes.
Let's look for a painting of a siege field.
What it said.
Alright.
some kind of battlefield.
Yes! This is perfect. Let's go find that one.
Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-bum, bum.
Alright. You guys are wandering. No, you guys aren't wandering. You're moseying. Yeah. I don't think you guys are in too much of a hurry. Just moseying. And work your way down to a painting you immediately figure is, yeah, probably the one you're looking for. How do you know it? Because it seems like Malathia tampered with this one. How do you know Malathia tampered with this one? Probably because it's a shimmering, slightly moving painting, just like, you know, all of the other ones around here. But it's a picture of her, Washington crossing the Delaware. It's that pose in a rowboat, but it's her. Needless to say, It looks like she's altered a little.
This ain't a battle in the seas, is it? Because that's not as fun.
It can be.
I don't know. You'll have to find out.
Fine. Is this the one we're supposed to go into?
Yes.
Alright, I jump in.
Whee!
That's it.
Okay. You jump in. Before we tell you what that looks like, anybody else following?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Amar will
Does
put
anybody
his-
else do it?
Yeah, he'll put his hand on it like he did before.
Well, nobody else is jumping through, as far as I know. Shove your foot in slowly.
Let's see. This one, there's actually no resistance. So when you jump through, yeah, you jump through. And I would say you probably do manage to tuck and roll instead of land face first in a pile of mud. As roll come to a stop. The others work their way through. It's a bit of a drop. It's probably 10 foot. So, stepping through, jumping, dropping down into, well, you're wondering if maybe the location that your drop off was in was modified as well, because this looks like a sewage ditch. An impromptu sewage ditch next to, a camp. A big one. A full-on military camp. This, you can feel the drum of horse hooves in this forest. It's nestled right into this clearing. It basically, more or less in the middle of the forest. There's been a pathway cut through, but other than that, this is very in the heavy part of the forest. and you can see from this spot, it's downhill from the encampment. Obviously, uh, you don't want that running into your camp the next day. It rains really hard. Um, but you can see that some of these trees have been cut down and turned into walls. Some of them have been put up with magical means. Other ones, others, things like that. Sorry, others have little palisades on them. But yeah, made of wood. You can see guards standing on top, going on patrol. You're right next to this trail that goes in and out of this. In and out of this camp. The horses' hooves are, war horses, moving in and out, and moving in and out of the camp, and over the just over these probably 20-30 foot walls, you can see massive trebuchets being put together. They literally dwarf these walls. More than that, you can see, trebuchets. You wouldn't be able to see the other things. They're a little short.
So who's the leader here, telling us where to go? Or do I just wander?
Isn't it you? You're the leader, aren't you?
Okay, we're going to the village and say hi to people.
Village.
Yeah, let's look for your.
Were you making reference to the fact that this used to be a village?
Let's look for Uraves.
Why would you do that?
What?
Look for Uraves. Why would you?
I mean, that's kind of our goal here.
Carl, you're not in this game.
I'm sorry.
Fucking better be.
I don't know.
We need to find Urves and or Malathia.
Let's look for Uraves. We need to figure out which side she's on.
I honestly think you guys should go to
the what? You cut out.
I think you guys should go to the tavern.
They got
Okay.
beer, probably. They got ale. We can go get something to drink.
Let's go. The main
Was
characters
that a
all
Gunner
meet at the
saying that, or
tavern.
was that a Malathia saying that from behind us?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, it was me.
Okay.
The voice of God has spoken.
Look at me. I am the captain now. So, you guys are headed into camp. You guys make your way to. Yeah. So, even though you guys are, you guys are reliving this memory. The sewage smells awful. They have doubled this sewage ditch as kind of a moat around this little, encampment. When I say little, though, once you get onto the path next to it and up to it, you realize this thing is a little more than an encampment. This is a full-on staging base. Yep. Towards the front here, there are what seem to be, once upon a time, a tavern, it looks like another hotel, the blacksmiths, carpenters, all of the things you would find in a normal city, including City Hall. But it's kind of been co-opted. Everything is emblazoned in the banner of the Sinister Army. And it looks like Town Hall has been turned into a headquarters of some sort. The tavern looks like it's somewhat still operating. You see people going in and out. but who knows? The blacksmith's looks like it's been borrowed. Same with everything else's.
Borrowed.
Hey, they don't have a they don't have a clause against quartering, you know. So yeah, and beyond these, these buildings, you see barracks. Lots and lots of barracks set up in tents, probably built for about 20 people. These are all in Elven make. Matter of fact, let's see here. Yeah, Amar, a lot of this would look familiar to you. I don't know if you've had any first-hand experience with war as a part of an army.
If it was required, probably had to at least once. Otherwise, no, he would avoid it.
Fair. We'll say maybe you're old enough, probably had some tangential experience with war. Basically, every now and again you would have, somebody hire you to train some officer, more likely some officer's son.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
It would take you to kind of odd places.
He has warfare, I think, as a lore. I just need to add it due to his background, martial. Yeah, so he'd have warfare, but he would only be trained in it.
Gotcha. So you're looking at this. A lot of this is SOP for the era. Nowadays, a lot of this would be different. First of all, you wouldn't actually be cutting down trees, because that's harmful to the environment. Instead, there would be some. It would be different.
Druids would probably just use waking of the wood or something to move them.
Right. But other than that, I mean, this is pretty by the book. What else? I mean, that's that's what you guys can see right here. What's the plan?
Well, we could either search the village or we could check and see if Rufus is in any of the pavilions. Are there any buildings that have the mark of the Church of Yomade?
Good question. Not right here.
Rawl would probably point out, looking around at all of these different buildings, well, if Erebus is going to be in any of these, it would probably be one that would be clearly marked with the church.
Would she at that time?
I mean, she was still a paladin.
Maybe as you're looking, you're watching some of these people. You do have another troop moving in behind you guys. They kind of pass right through you. But you listen to some of their conversations as they're going. You hear them say, just idle chatter. You were thinking about, Yomade, and they hear, God damn it, do you hear they're putting all the scrubs in their own goddamn pavilion? What? No, we gotta fucking leg it with all of the others. Yeah, I know. Fucking buses. All Faith's Pavilion. Look, they got drafted. They didn't volunteer no matter what anybody says. They got fucking drafted. Yeah. Yeah, and they're probably not much better than any other ragtag militia. City kids. Hey, you hear they got a dwarf with? You hear they got a fucking dwarf with them? Yeah, more than a fucking dwarf. They got a whole bunch of them. Why the fuck are they here? They know who we're fighting, right? And they are, walking down the road.
Do they seem to be pointing out a specific pavilion?
No.
Well, that answers our question. We just gotta look through all the pavilions.
Potentially.
staring out at all
I,
of them.
I call the tavern. I'll look in there.
Okay.
Why would they be in
Um,
the tavern?
Why wouldn't they be in the tab?
Maybe they're all teetotalers?
I'm looking at the camera to not give you the satisfaction of having to look that up to remind me what that means.
Someone who does not partake in any substance.
Any mind or mood altering substance.
In other words, Lashana DeWitt.
A little bit.
I don't partake in libations.
Exactly. She does not partake in libations. It doesn't work out when you're a 60-some going on 70-some-year-old woman.
You are 60 going on 70.
Actually, I'm 33. What?
And if you ever asked her, she said, I'm turning 45 next year and I'm not getting any older.
Wow. How many years have you turned 45, Lashana?
So anyway,
Shut up.
about your mother.
She would do that too. So, moving on. I will give you. You guys are headed towards, well, not you guys, but you guys are, well, I think you guys are headed towards the pavilions. Anduin is headed towards the tavern. When the doors do burst open, and Galrock lands on his ass. Don't you
Does he
come
have
back
his
in here, you nitwit. Followed closely behind him are, well, Uraves and the others that you recognize. Uraves. Galrock had been asking questions about where the All Faiths Pavilion was, and instead of, pointing the way, they took him in, threw him out. You guys might have been able to do something to help him, but you were there just a tad late. You got in through another door as he was getting thrown. So what does this look like from Uraves' perspective? Galrock sitting in the mud.
Oh, she's
Trying
like
to pick himself up.
she's kneeling down to help him up and twists her head back to glare at the innkeep with the same kind of ire that she gives people on the battlefield. Points at him and says, I should denote this on your tithes.
And yes, this is not a this is not a member of the military. This is a civilian. Looks to be the barkeep at the very least, if not the tavern owner.
She's basically
goes,
saying you're gonna have
yeah,
to
I'll
get 12.
fucking remember that. You come into my goddamn town. You take over my tavern, my city hall that I paid for with my taxes, and now you're telling me that I have to be nice to the person that you're basically here to kill. All because of some goddamn tree. Fuck off.
Is he a human? I'm assuming.
Yes.
So like a mayfly to misunderstand important things.
Jesus. How many of you... How many of you are gonna come in here and call me mayflies when you guys are the ones dropping like flies? He kind of leans down and goes, you know why they're calling in reinforcements, right? Because you're getting your fucking asses kicked. Don't believe me? He points towards, points down, go to the All Faiths Pavilion like your buddy wanted, and see what's left of some of those people. It's not pretty, I assure you.
At that, she looks to probably Snelled and Krant and is like, motioning for them to help Galrock.
Yeah, well, you help Galrock up, and he's... No, lass, don't. It's fine. Let's go. Thank you for your time, sir.
She she still walks up to the guy and just kind of stands uncomfortably close to show off she's a big girl, and is like,
Make me an intimidation check.
let me get her character sheet out. Intimidation.
38. Okay. At that, he does take a step back at, hey, personal space. Right?
Thank you for your concern to our bodily being.
Yeah, okay. Well, next time you come in and take my house, tell me I can't sleep in my own bed. Okay, I'll remember.
Perhaps the dwarves will be just as generous to you as they have been to us. And that she turns
Hey
on
there.
her heel.
Yeah, and you guys are picking up, walking, and he says, "Hey, they'll probably pay me what you're paying me. Nada."
Yeah, she's just like brushing off Galrock. Maybe he's got like a big clump of mud on his shoulder or something.
Oh, his back is covered.
I know that dwarves like to roll in the mud, but this is a tad ridiculous, don't you, Gal? I think this is a tad ridiculous, don't you, Galrock?
Doesn't bother me. Look, at the end of the day, we're just here to get our shit done, and then we can go home. Now, as this group is moving, what is the party? You found Urvis.
Oh, Amar's going downstairs to get some food. But he's still here. I'm back.
Guess just falling behind them. Rawl's trying to keep close enough to hear them, but it's far enough back that he's not going to inadvertently trigger a monitor.
Anduin. There's a keg of ale sitting on the porch of the tavern.
Don't do
It's
it.
capped.
Don't do it.
It's just dreams or memories.
Nobody's watching it either.
Don't do it.
It's a small keg too, about the size of I mean, it's a
Well,
powder
yeah,
keg. Yeah,
I'll
it's
put it there.
it's about the size of not a coffee can. It's a little bigger, but you know.
Well,
I
is
pick
that
it up
something
and
you
take
do?
it. Yeah. Ooh,
Pick it
cool.
up, grab it, and move.
Did you exit the memory? All right, memory
Awesome.
sequence over, guys.
Why would that keg be important?
I don't know.
red lights start blaring. And 16 monitors appear from or moderators appear from the fucking woodwork.
Even better, there's an empty flagon next to it that's been cleaned.
Sweet. Can I get drunk in a dream? We're gonna find out.
We're gonna
Say, I-
find out.
I have a feeling you're about to find out. So
This is gonna go
Well, alright.
so badly.
So we've got one guy wandering around town, keg in his. So there I was, keg on my chest.
I mean, you've heard of egg on your face, but I've never heard of keg on your chest.
it's
Gosh.
keg on a chest.
Oh, here it comes.
Watch out, kegs, they'll drink you up.
Jeez. All right. So, yeah, you guys are wandering. He's kind of moved to catch up with you guys. It must have rained recently. The road here isn't dirt; it's mud mostly. And so, yeah. Let's see. Actually, Malathia, while you're trying to brush him off, kind of pats your hand away and motions and prestidigitates the mud off.
Oh, good Malathia.
Yeah,
Well.
that Ruva smiles and is like, that saved me a lot of work. Thank you, Malathia.
She just smiles and nods.
Sounds like we may be needed at the pavilion if things are truly as dire as they say.
Maybe. God, fucking hate this forest. I know that's not very nice to say, but it's too humid down here for me. That coughing wasn't me. I mean, it was me, but it was...
In character.
Mm.
Galrock doesn't happen to look like Bob, does he?
We've been over this before.
I know,
No.
I know. I'm just gonna keep getting suspicious of him.
No, but we do
He's a
have the
dwarf.
theory that he's Bob's ancestor.
Yeah, he's a dwarf, so.
I am a dwarf and I'm Never mind. Nope. Anyways, so moving down this track, and he goes, Arvis, how have your training sessions been going with Malathia?
Hey GM, how have my training sessions been going?
Well, for a person, question: how would your training sessions go with someone that refuses to pick up a weapon?
Ooh, that's tough. Probably just teaching her how to not get hit. How to
Fair.
fight on the defensive.
That's proved to be a challenge in and of itself. Something you found with Malathia is she is not very flexible. I don't know, have you asked? Is that something she'd pry on?
A little bit, just to understand.
Okay. Basically, she would have explained that the scars that she has scars on her back that make it hard to flex. And if she overdoes it, it can lead to some pretty bad back spasms that take up, most of the day. That can be a problem for days. And so she's afraid of overdoing it. And so that's been, trying to get her to come out of her comfort zone without actually causing her pain.
Slow.
About the only thing that she seems to be excelling with is healing magic.
She refuses to wield a weapon, but she has more than made up for it with her magical skill. I just pray that she knows how to duck out of the way without care for any discomfort it may cause later. A spasming back is better than that. And she lets it hang there.
Well, that's a problem. Well, I'm not anticipating us to get into any fights here. More or less, we're just reserve units as far as I've been told. Oh, hey, there we are. And he says, pointing towards one of the banners that you would have seen from the Deity Plaza. That kind of encapsulates the whole thing. It's like the kind of the magic guild symbols. It's just this it's this wheel with all of the different symbols represented. Well, when I say all, I mean the major 10 different religions represented at the school. The smaller ones aren't. So, but that being the case, that's where we are. Hey, we'll be sleeping underneath be sleeping kind of under the stars, at least for once. That was Snell. They don't talk much, but when they do, I mean, they talk. Anyways, Galrock would probably lead you guys to this pavilion. And there's a familiar sight there. Patrice.
Is it Malathia?
Nope. Just Patrice. Miss Starwinkle.
Urfus looks a little surprised at that and, raises a hand in greeting.
Yeah, and she kind of turns and nods. Oh. They told me they were sending reinforcements. I didn't think it would be, well, any help we can get is good help.
Indeed.
She looks tired, like she hasn't slept in weeks. As far as you had known, she had just been, she had been called up to the front, but you hadn't known anything about it. You hadn't known that you would meet her here, I guess is the easy way to say that. What did they tell you?
The battle swings not in our favor.
If they're willing to admit that, then I guess it's a start. What's going on? She kind of motions a hand to the rest of the pavilion. Yeah, this is basically a hospital ward. Some people in rough shape here. And not all elven either. You've got... I was about to say some dwarves, but really the only dwarves you see seem to be kind of under POW care, I guess is a good way of putting. But there's some humans, elves, gnomes, a halfling or two, and actually goblins, which, sorry. I don't know if you'd, I don't know if that's something that would have been widely publicized, but yeah, goblins here as well.
Yeah, Urvis probably looks to Malathia and is like, see to the most gravely wounded, regardless of what colors they fly.
She nods and begins to, work her way through. Patrice kind of, sees Malathia and her eyes follow her as she, goes to the rest of the tent and looks. It starts to work and looks back at the rest of you. Sneld, Krant, they're bringing in a fresh batch. Can you get some people ready for triage? Oh, I guess. Which way? Kind of jerks her thumb to the other end of the pavilion. Bring him in from there. You're big and strong. If they need people moved, go ahead and move them. Ah, you want to know what that tastes like, Anduin? It doesn't taste like any kind of alcohol you've ever had before. The taste is odd. It's you can tell it's an ale. Probably a summer batch. Unfiltered. But the notes, yeah, it's an elven ale, but you've had elven ales before, I'm sure. And this is different even for that. Not in the sense of it, it's a special brew or anything like that. No, it's as if your taste buds are not working as they normally. Long story short, your tasting ale as an elf would taste it.
So my brain is like, okay, can't really taste it as much. Maybe I should drink more, and I'll taste it better.
How many tankards are you in?
Well, from the walk from the tavern to here, his little conversation, let's go with 4.
All right. In the space of 15 minutes, you've had 4 tankards. Anybody have anything to say to that?
we
What
get
did you
into a-
find out?
If we're gonna get into a fight, you're going to be a liability. You know that, right?
Isn't he always?
All I gotta do is swing the axe. It's not that hard.
Was that Malathia?
Who do you think it was?
Malathia.
Yes, it was Malathia. Here, give me some of that, she says, taking the tankard from fucking Anduin.
It's pretty good. Try it.
Fruity notes? Is that... Oh, okay. Cool. Asparagus. No, not asparagus. Celery. Oh, okay. And then hops. Quite good. Hands you back the tankard. So, you were saying something? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Not much coordination needed, or I just gotta swing an axe at something.
Brawl just turns
Alright.
back to look at Malathia and is like, "Are you who you actually say you are?
Yes, I'm Malathia.
Are you sure about that?"
Ooh. All right. What did you pick to swing at, Anduin?
Oh, it's just a general statement. When it's time to fight, all I gotta do is swing my axe.
Oh, I thought you were actually going to swing. Sorry.
No, I'm drinking more.
Sorry, back to what you were asking. James,
Yeah, she was.
are you
just-
actually who you say you are?
Yeah, are you actually who you say you are?
Why would I be anything different?
Well, we found out that you and Finara were both homunculi.
Oh. Homunculi. That's good. That's real good. Tell me, Rawl. I know you're one.
But what am I?
Wouldn't you start to see them everywhere? Your own internal biases?
Well, what else would have created all of the, Well, for one, Finara was originally a half-elf when we saw her, but then she looked like a human, and upon closer medical examination, it was because she had taken a very potent alchemical concoction.
According to the memories that you tampered with. Yeah,
Now that you tampered with.
fine. According to the memories that were tampered with. I'm glad you trust tampered evidence. Wouldn't want you as a judge in my courtroom.
Yeah, but, inadmissible evidence or not, it does make me think that perhaps you are actually Finara?
You think I would be someone so inconsequential to Uraves as a person? Why would I come and haunt her for that?
Perhaps because of something we're about to find out?
Oh, yes. Big, scary secret time. Oh!
Or perhaps because Malathia actually died in an untampered memory.
Which still begs the question, why would I bother spending so much time getting back at Uraves?
The two of you shared a very close bond. Perhaps you even shared a soul.
Before this who? Finara and I?
It's not unheard of. And with half of you trapped in the world of the dead and half of you trapped in the world of the living, it would make sense that you might be snagged by the abyss.
Well, considering she was the only person that bothered to learn to say anything to me, or at least listen to what I was saying at all, well, kind of makes sense that she would stick around, isn't it?
Perhaps you feel guilty.
Guilt. What's guilt to a demon?
Where are your scars?
My scars? Why would I keep those around?
So it is something that you can control, and it's not that you are a person who did not have them to begin with.
She kind of looks at you and smiles, and then begins to shapeshift until you're staring at you. Although you, as if you were looking through a filter. Some sort of, the dimensions seem just slightly out of place. And she goes, Rawl, I can be whatever I want to be in this dream, she says in a perfect rendition of your voice.
Rawl leans forward and looks at it and shakes his head and is like, it's a very poor imitation.
Like to see you do better. Of course, you have to live your own life every day. The best part about it is
live my life than yours.
Well, the best part about my life is I don't have to live yours. I can leave it whenever I choose. You're stuck.
No, I know you
Turns
leave.
back into herself. Why don't I leave? Because this is my house. I moved in first. I won't take squatters.
Alright. Doesn't mean we're gonna leave. Maybe you'll give up on this like you gave up on everything else.
At that, she just smiles bigger. If only you knew, my dear child. Speaking of which, did you find anything else interesting at that little scene?
Turn to stranger.
Check the chart, stranger.
Okay.
There you go.
There you
We
go.
can,
I hear you.
we can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Did you guys find anything?
The
Stranger?
cultists.
Are you going to say
Let's
anything?
see. We found the cultists. So, the people Uraves was working for and with seemed to be cultists of something Gug. Can't remember the beginning half of that name.
Rovagug?
Yeah, him. Which means that the people attacking, the people who killed Finara, were in the right.
That should
But
kind
you,
of...
but you blame Uraves, although from what I have seen, she only knew they were transporting people and goods.
kind of looks and goes, I'm sorry, there was what? In the what?
There were people and goods in the wagons. They were secreting some ones and some things someplace.
That, no, that was just a, no. Mm-mm.
Do you ever look closely at the memories you inhabit?
Generally, I have a modicum of respect for memories that aren't mine.
That seems like a lie.
They are your memories.
No, they're Uraves's. That could provide some context. Did you miss the other paintings on your way here? I'm sorry. Portals.
We were looking for ones that included a sign that you were altering or inhabiting them.
Alt? I don't know what you're talking. She seems confused.
Is it possible that something else could be tampering with them?
No. It's... No. But it just makes... I don't suppose any of you took time to gather context for this little memory, did you?
Nope, we just smashed the things that were attacking us, and then they did stuff, and I don't know.
Well, between here and there was another period of working and training. Excuse me, back in Sinister, before, well, let's just say tensions boiled over with the braggarts down south. There was a terrorist attack in Sinister. A bomb exploded.
In the docks?
Destroyed near the docks, yes. Good memory. It, well, leveled a bar, leveled, 4 or 5, large cargo vessels, and most of an entire district in Sinister.
This is happening again.
I'm sorry?
When we talked with... Surely you know Polfari, you've been through all of Urvis's memory. Big, angry dwarf, really ratty beard, likes to yell a lot.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Well, apparently
I'm surprised that you guys haven't been rolling very much perception on this.
Well,
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm gonna roll on that.
yeah, that seems like a lie. I think Polvari's a bit too much of a presence to ever be forgotten.
Yeah, she's kind of memorable.
That's your best you
Oh,
rolled.
whoops. They have the same modifier anyway.
Alright, a 38, and a 35, and a 20. Wow. 57 rang. Let's see.
Yeah,
no,
they have the same
this would
modifier.
be... Yeah, no. Out of... Yeah. Everybody here kind of... She's not lying so much as she's just being sarcastic.
Hmm.
Just kind of the eye roll, the flip of the hand, you know.
Well, anyway,
No, never heard of her.
she and Urvis, and I think some others, were actually in Halfdorn. And it was attacked by something called an Algothu,
The Ogathu.
and they attacked from the docks because they're like sea monsters.
Are you talking about what? You mentioned it, Ancure? Literally the tree city they're fighting over in this memory?
Oh, that tree's dead.
Well, that I remember.
It burned down now because, Here's a better question. Do you know anything about, or is it just what Urvis knows about Deidre?
The only memories of Deidre I have are the ones that have been collected by Urvis as of late. I honestly think she sounds quite delightful.
I'm just saying, perhaps this is a bit of a stretch, but is it possible that all of these conflicts within the last few hundred years have been orchestrated by the Algothu in order to weaken the surface kingdom so that they could begin an invasion?
Well, my context was that these, well, terrorists of Rovagug... What, just the ambushers?
It wasn't the ambushers, it was the guards.
Do you expect me to believe that kind of bullshit?
You could go into our memories and see that we saw that.
Or you can go back into Urvis's memory and check behind their ears.
hold on. And she does, no fanfare this time, she just kind of pops out of the memory. And it's not long before she's back, and she's got her arms crossed. Who's fucking with the memories? See, you? She says, staring up at the sky.
No, it is not me. I'm busy doing this.
Bullshit. You're all
But-
fucking with these memories just to get to me.
Has Kirik detected something? Because I am currently delving through her own memories.
As in, what, manipulations to the memories?
Yes.
Well, I mean, after you got out of that last memory, things had been changed. But there's no other presence going through changing things right now.
Wait. Urves was taken captive by those faceless stalkers and so that they could impersonate her. What did they do? You were there, we weren't.
I don't want to talk about
Is it possible that they could have interfered with her memories?
it. I don't want to talk about it.
Then you'll never know who's been messing with the memory.
Shut up! Let's just focus on things at hand. You were trying to kill me, right? Alright, good. She
We were
seems
trying to
very
help
much
you.
shaken.
We were trying to help you,
And now
Of
we've learned
course,
something
that's what
more.
you're
setting
trying
you free. When did you begin speaking to Urves? I'm assuming it's immediately after she was abducted.
Any more of your questions? This is what happened. The guards that were pretending to be guards, but... Fuck! That's how they did it. We were too late. That's exactly what happened. That's how they were able to get behind us. And we let them walk into the fucking city. They hit the caravan long before we got there. They killed the guards, hid them inside the carts, and then pretended to be their own ambush. Cart full of explosives that big definitely would have done what happened. How did we not fucking see any of that at the time?
They're able to impersonate people perfectly.
No, they're not fucking Algathu. You saw the goddamn marks. They're just assholes that were trying to work. Who wants to fucking release Rovagug anyways?
Maybe Deidre?
That doesn't make any sense. She's one of the assholes that lives in this world. Why would she destroy it?
She doesn't live here, she lives essentially in a pocket dimension.
Yes, and if Rovagug were able to find a way into that little pocket dimension, it could lead to all other pocket dimensions, couldn't it?
But this isn't
And
her
those
world.
little pocket...
She wants her world back. And she wants to be queen of her world.
Out of character. Are you saying that Deidre's real goal is not to still the winds of magic, it's to go home?
Could be she needs the winds of magic to go home. Or to rebuild it.
Just checking to see if that's your theory. Okay.
Just checking.
It's always bad when the DM is asking you about your theory, because that either means you're really wrong, or
Or
you're
you're
giving
about
them
to
an
be right.
idea.
Makes me wonder, where the fuck did I go wrong? Anyways,
At the very least, imagine all the chaos that the threat of Rogovagug being released would cause. It would pull everyone away from what her and Bob are trying to do. And everywhere she goes, she destroys everything, entire cities.
no.
And islands. Whoa, wait, that was one of us.
You're all full of fucking shit. You're bullshitting me.
Why would we?
At worst,
Because you
we're
want
just
me
grasping
gone.
at strings.
And if you decide that, and you've decided that if you get me mad enough to want to leave, I'll leave. Because you're not getting my name.
What if we don't want you to be gone?
You're lying.
Well, can
You're
you inhabit-
lying. You're lying. You're lying. And she disappears.
I was just gonna ask if she could inhabit space that's not occupied by a body, and then she could, like, be within the Silver Spire.
You want her around the Silver Spire?
She's a potentially powerful ally. She's a dream demon, or she's a memory demon.
All right, Mike.
could
James
infect
has gone off
Bob.
the deep end. Checkbox number 1.
She can infect Bob, and then we
Or-
know all of Bob's plans.
Or crazy thought. She doesn't exist at all.
And she's Uraves.
She's your best.
Ooh,
Your best
spicy. There's a lot of hot takes here today. I
But we've
love
been,
it.
but we've been saying Uraves in her presence a lot, so unless this is
Well,
like
we
something
haven't-
where we have to be like, Calypso, I release you from your mortal bonds.
I mean, we haven't called her.
No, I have to speak to it like she's a lover. Calypso, I release you from your mortal bonds. Sorry, sorry. Daniel, go ahead.
No, that was it. That was my theory.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah,
unless
she's
there's like a
been your best
specific
guilty
thing we need to say.
conscious, which is why she has control of memories and why she doesn't like to remember the things your best probably wouldn't like to remember.
What if she's Rovagug?
And she's your best
She's
guilty
Mephisto.
conscious of her past,
Aspect of
letting people
Rovagug.
die, killing people heartlessly.
You're right.
You're right.
Yeah, what if Uraves willingly works for Rovagug and we just think she works for that other
Okay, now we're getting into some
Ooh.
bullshit territory.
guy? Yeah, I know.
You can't prove shit.
You can't... Is that a hint of guilt? Have we really worked all of this out beforehand, James?
I didn't know any of the Rovagug stuff.
But it was your idea. All right, moving on.
I know that
I'm
trick.
being gaslit by my own DM.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't gaslight you if I didn't think we could do some good work with it. Huh?
Or if you thought that I wouldn't immediately be like, hey, he's gaslighting me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gaslighting anybody.
Hey, now you are again.
Magical gaslighting words. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not doing
I-
that. You're crazy.
I am a respectable and truthful DM who never deceives his players ever. And the fact that you're insinuating otherwise kind of makes me a little upset.
Never deceives his player ever. Soul.
Oh,
Soul.
And then the oldest.
Or the whole red vest, blue vest thing.
Don't know what you're talking about. That
The-
hey, we said we weren't talking about that.
The whole it is what's his name actually a vampire? It wasn't a good thing or not that Severin
that's it.
shoved him off.
Malafi's name is Cyrus Smith.
Ooh, that one.
What
sorry,
if the
Chief.
what if the Malathia was the friends we made along the way? What if it's Polvari?
Ooh.
Damn, you learned my plan.
Now who's gaslighting who?
James is gaslighting himself.
What? I would never. Who? Me? No, never.
Jesus Christ, we've gone off the deep end. All right, let's reel it back in here. Okay, 8:40. Oh boy. So
God, there's so many theories.
I'm enjoying the theory crafting. So for our viewers who are tuning in, the big thing to remember is yes, they're inside one of their players or one of their characters' memories, Erebus, and going back through her life. Apparently, right now they've dropped kind of in the middle of well, her big war campaign experience. So, gosh, we were way off topic here. Anyways, oh, all right. The memory starts to move again. Patrice, after she sent Krant and Snelled off, looks at both of you and go, "The two of you I'm not worried about. Are they ready?"
Do they seem ready, Mr. DM?
Well,
I don't know,
Erebus, two of them have been able to swing weapons since they were children, and have only gotten more deadly with time, but have no concept of tactical awareness. The other one is smart, probably a little too smart for her own good, and is deathly afraid of her own shadow, basically.
Also, I put all of our questions and theories in group notes.
Ooh, good, because I can go back to those and be like, what did you guys say again? Anyways.
I'll be honest and frank. Snelt and Krant are powerful warriors, but they are not soldiers. Malathia is not ready for combat.
I know Malathia was having issues ever since she lost her friend. Has she gone off on any more sad wanders?
Is she a RimWorld character?
Worst Dwarf Fortress character.
The thing that broke the thing that finally broke her mental mood. She ate without a table.
You're literally sitting next to a table. Why aren't you eating with the table? Why aren't you eating with the goddamn table? It's right next to you. Sorry.
Someone sounds like they've understood the pain now. I need a table. Not that table, though. My bedroom's not fancy enough.
You live in a 4-story apartment.
But,
Anyways.
has she gone on any more sad wanders?
So, basically, you were probably told to tell her to stop. And so she stopped when you were around. How often were you around?
She's been keeping a pretty close eye on her.
Okay. So, as far as you know, probably not. There have been a couple of times where you've lost track, potentially, but you end up finding her pretty quick.
As far as I'm aware, she hasn't, but she's surprisingly slippery.
Well, at this point, we just have to hope for the best with her. We gotten her to pick up a weapon yet? You said no.
She won't pick up a weapon, and due to her medical conditions, it is difficult to train her in defense.
I'll do what I can to keep her off the front lines, but at this point I can't guarantee anything. Hold on. I thought we were supposed to be reserve units. Uh-huh. And we're having to deploy reserve units. That's got Galrock a little concerned.
Huh.
Oh. Have they really pushed that far? So far, they've made about 50 miles inland. Or in forest, rather. We're not able to get to their supply chains, and, well, we lost our last recon unit yesterday. She's looking at you as if she's expectantly.
Irvis is just thinking. We shouldn't be engaging them in open battle then if they've already proven to be stronger.
Not stronger, just more tactically sound. So far, they've been fighting on our turf and winning. That changes hopefully soon. I'm gonna go have a talk with my higher-ups and... Fuck. Look, just... She kind of waves her arms, to, everything behind her. Welcome to the Ranger Corps, squaddie.
Irvis just gives like a weary look over towards Malathia with that look that's like, uh-oh, someone's gonna probably get us killed.
She's not looking. Are you saying we're the only ones left? The only ones that have come home? Yes. When do we start? About sundown. We've got one group supposedly pinned down behind enemy lines, and we need somebody to go verify. You're not sending us... Yes, I am. And if you have a problem with it, I can always put Uraves in charge.
Surely this would be a mission more suited to light cavalry.
We don't have any to spare. Look, I'm fighting for everything we had. I was barely able to keep a pavilion to ourselves. Look, they don't like us, right? This army is using us like fucking war dogs. They don't really care that we're on the same side. They're going to use us and dispose of us because they think we're inconsequential.
Absurd.
Yes, I agree. But the only thing we can do now is kick ass and take names.
She nods her head.
I'm sorry to do this.
Do we at least have a map of where we're going?
She nods and I'll get you coordinates. Now that I'm thinking about this, Uraves, you're in charge. You know these woods better than Galrock does. He doesn't say it.
Does he look like that upset him? Because Irvis does look a little shocked. This is her first, before she was a paladin, she was a regular, army soldier and a knight, but she was never given command.
Right. So he seemed frustrated the fact that, basically the entire medical wing is, this is everybody that's supposed to be supporting. And, you're the only ones left. He doesn't seem, if anything, he seems a little dismissive of that.
Does he seem a little worried about having to fight other dwarves?
No. That doesn't seem to have bothered. You could always ask him later. So.
Why do I have a really bad feeling that this memory is going to be tampered with and we're going to go and find this army of dwarves? And it's just all Bob. You can't even hide from me in your own memories. He's fucking he's fucking like Lysandra, whatever her name is from League of Legends. I am everywhere.
And nowhere.
I thought you were gonna say Lysandra from our Magic High School game. I was like, wait, what? Lysandra, I'm there. Chaotic evil warlock.
Yeah, but with that, the memory kind of freezes here. Everybody else is just kind of, Let's everybody think of this little exchange here.
Rawls only ever read about stuff like this in history books. He's 4 years old.
Stranger thinks that Urves is going to send Malathia out to be killed. Not necessarily on purpose, but
Ooh.
Right? Could be, like I said, where the guilt's coming from.
She
the
might
GM
have
is
a
key.
she might have a problem like King did. Her orders are to protect her crew. Her orders are to complete the mission. Protect the crew is to fail the mission. To complete the mission is to let the crew die.
Yeah.
And maybe she was like a king. And she picked the mission.
GM keeps saying,
So, all right. We've got about a half hour left. We've got a couple more small scenes. Is everybody all right with that?
yeah.
E.
Because at this point, let's see. Keurig. At this point, sorry. The memory kind of pauses, and little screen pops up. Continue. Yes. No.
What?
How many quarters do we need?
Shit. Yeah, I didn't bring any.
Start throwing silver coins at Urvis. Remember!
Stop doing this, Urves.
You understand that arcades went out of fashion for this reason, right?
So, what do you press?
I mean, I guess, should we continue? What was the other option?
Yes or no? Continue? Yes? No.
Oh. I mean, yeah, I think we should continue, right?
Okay.
Unless, I'm legit, like, wouldn't hitting no just be like, alright, memory done?
Basically, this is to move forward to the next scene. It
Oh,
doesn't
well-
provide that context, but
But yes, I mean, we'll continue to the next scene.
everybody here in the pavilion, it's almost as if you're watching everything on fast forward, because everything starts to move really fast. People moving in and out, ducking in and around, and the sun moves across the sky and starts to get dim, and it slows just about sundown. The yellow rays are just, are still just barely glimmering over the trees, leaving, a beautiful, dark and starry sky. Uraves and Galrock, along with Krant and Snell, they're here at the table here at the front, along with Patrice, and she's just finishing up the location, the brief. All right, and yeah, so this is all the information we were able to gather. Take this, she says, putting a, oh gosh, what is it? It's a scroll of sending, I believe. Similar to the one you guys received from, what's his face? The mayor of Brunton. If you don't remember what I'm talking about.
Fuck, I forget his name.
Oh yeah.
Brunton,
It
maybe.
has a name. It's
Yeah.
just in my notes.
Mayor No.
Fix it, pick it?
No! My name isn't... Never mind, that's low-hanging fruit.
Wait.
Hey, if Mike can have Persimmons show up in his campaign, you can have a mayor fix it, pick it.
No...
That wasn't his name. I don't remember what it was though.
Agent Persimmon, yeah.
Yay!
No, but... No, it's similar to one of those. Yeah. Keep us updated hourly. I don't want another group going missing. If you find them, get them out of there. Remember, you don't have any support. There's no fire support we can bring in on that location. It's just the 5 of you. Or... Alright, where is she?
This is Raw. Watching the memories like, I was about to ask that.
Both Malothias are strangely absent. Surprise, surprise.
You don't think that when other Malathi is gone, real Malathi is gone. Did Malathi ever exist?
Malathia was in the scene without Demon Malathia.
Yeah, but was Demon Malathia watching us? Because now she's completely fucked off.
Yeah, but Malathia might also be running away because, the people are trying to force her to fight and she doesn't want to fight.
Fair. Or she's going on one of her Rimworld sad wanders.
I was gonna say Galrock looks at Urvis. Can you go please? Sorry, can you go find her? Please?
She nods and steps out of the pavilion, and she's dressed in her full plate armor.
Gotcha.
Probably not the best for a recon mission.
No.
But when you're a
Probably
paladin,
no.
when you're a paladin in a fantasy world and you can literally ask your mommy god for help.
And not to put too fine a point on it, there are ways that you can help muffle. Generally, that involves tying lots of things with ropes.
Yeah, she has this wrapped pretty tightly, and she'll do a bounce test later.
Yeah, so there are ways you can mitigate that. So it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just going to be hell wandering through the woods. But if you're used to that. So.
But now she kind of wants to be heard, so she doesn't mind that her armor's clunking and chinking and clinking.
Right. And, yeah, alright. Where is Urvis going to search? Where does Urvis think she would go? And all of her experiences.
Oh, she's not... Maybe she would check, like, the perimeter... Like, I assume that, like, this pavilion has got, like, a palisade of its own.
This one is kind of an open tent. Really,
Well, like, the medical area is, like, its own section with a palisade around it. In case they had to fight in layered defense.
Yeah, we can say they're starting to put things like this base is relatively new.
Alright.
So, but yeah, they're starting to put things like that up.
She would probably check around that first. Something where Malathia can blend in with the crowd.
Yeah. And it doesn't take fine. What is, but before, we get there, what's the rest of the group? What's the group? What are the observers?
Drinking.
How far can we go? Like,
Yeah, can we follow Urvis?
Do we have a tether range where if we go too far we get yanked back?
So the nice thing about these memories is that Urvis doesn't have to experience them at this time for you to recognize it for what it is. She just has to have experienced it once upon a. It seems like this base. Well, she spent some time around here, so things seem fairly concrete.
Right, but we won't be able to, like, find Malathia if it's in a spot that Urvis hasn't, it's weird.
Potentially.
Rawl, for his part, has pulled out a piece of parchment and is copying down the map on the table.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That works.
I'm gonna finish this keg, so.
Gotcha.
Have you been drinking any water between those?
Anduin, if you were hoping to get drunk,
Where?
I'm very sorry to say that you don't feel any different.
It still tastes funky.
And you're probably 3/4 of a keg through.
Well, it tastes good. Y'all should try some. You get a drink and a show, so what else could I ask for?
What kind of show is this? Fucking soap opera?
Jesus.
Oh
Apparently.
my gosh. It's not it's not an episode of No, it's not an episode of MASH. It's an episode. God, what would you even call this? Because it's basically just MASH, right?
Game of Thrones.
Nobody's died yet. Nobody that mattered.
Excuse me. There's a little girl by a bunch of carts that have something to say about that. Oh, sorry, a little homunculus.
Nobody
She
that
died.
mattered.
Ow.
Hey, we've done a lot of things we're not proud of. Eh? Plundering tombs, robbing graves, double parking. We never hurt anybody. I mean, nobody we know.
Shit, that's like every fucking D&D and Pathfinder party fucking ever.
Yeah, and that came from Atlantis: The Lost Empire, my favorite
It's a
Disney
great
movie.
movie.
Fuck yes, it is.
Commander. Commander. Commander.
Oh, not now. What?
There's something you should hear on the radar. Or the sonar.
Yeah, right. Is that pot of whales? Sorry, I can't. We have to continue.
Quoting the entire movie.
I could quote probably a portion of that movie, okay? Not the whole thing, but a fair portion. Anyways, so you guys are headed. Well, where are you guys? Are you guys following Urvis? Are you sticking around here?
Strangers following Urvis.
Okay.
Yeah, Rawl's just gonna stay there so he can finish
Okay.
the map.
You're a map. Okay. Anduin, are you gonna sit
Wander.
around and you're gonna go for a sad wander, Anduin?
Yeah, I'm gonna wander around the town trying to drink this.
I can't get drunk. I'm gonna go for a sad wander.
Huh.
What is life without alcohol?
And Emma.
Amar might actually wander, but with the to investigate the area, just like kind of look at the people gathered, see what's going on.
Right.
Maybe see if he can catch something that's out of place.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's start with the easiest thing first. Rawl. Copying this map, you actually can see. Yeah, it's in the wider context of things. Let me just move you guys over to the world map. You see where Halfdorn's on fire?
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Draw a shape, hopefully.
I like to
And we'll
think
just
that in this time period, Margaret really is in Brunton.
No, probably.
Like, she's just
Back when I was a young, hot thing.
a young, virile woman.
That's exactly what she would say too.
Okay.
So this you're looking at this context here. This base camp is probably about here. That's basically the theater you guys are operating in it. Kind of far
I
away from
see.
Sinister.
I see.
And, you know, I mean, it's actually really fucking close to Halfdom. Well, I was going to say she ran off before she could give context. So, all right. Anduin, yeah, you're still going for a sad wander. You're going in a sad wander one direction.
He walks along.
He'll end up getting lost probably, and they'll be like,
Oh,
"Which
sure.
direction are we
These
supposed to
tents-
go?"
These tents are a little confusing. They're not set up in a grid pattern at all. It was basically just, oh, here's a piece of flat ground. Build it here quick before it turns to mud. Here's a piece of flat ground. Quick, build it here before it turns to mud. And yeah, it does start actually with the evening, you know. The rain clouds have kind of moved in, and it looks like you're ready for a storm. It's got that smell on the road. You know the smell of rain before it's landed? Ozone. I
Such
think
a
that's
wonderful smell. I
Yeah.
love that rain.
It's yes, it is. It's a great smell. But so for you, you actually do find something interesting. Wandering through probably one of the pavilions, and you hear, "Hey, Spigot, get over here." And you're looking at. You think he's talking to you for a second, and look and turn, and it's this guy kind of crouched behind a set of crates. He's talking to one of the guards standing in front of the pavilion. Spigot, get over here. And guard kind of turns and, Frank, can't talk to him. Look, it's happening tonight. Damn it. Fuck. All right, I'll be ready. Good. Sorry, if anyone's hearing any booms, that's coming from my end.
Good. I'm hearing it too on my end, so don't even
Would
know.
that be booms from fireworks?
Yep, pre-4th of July. So,
They're staging a coup. Oh, that'll be fun to watch. So I want to watch them. This could be fun.
Amar,
Yes.
your end, you do find something interesting on that side as well.
Really?
Oh, yes, wandering your end. You get to one of the only, standing structures that's not a tent, at least on this part. You end up finding. Sorry, it looks like a supply depot. Lots of barrels and crates and things like that. And you see some figures working on opening some of the off to the side. It's kind of in this small alleyway between the building and one of the walls.
Do these crates almost look like the kind of crates that we saw before?
Yes.
Nah.
That looks
Yeah, we'll
similar,
watch.
yeah. Okay. You you're watching, and these guys pry them open, and inside you look kind of odd. It's these tanks of, well, it's how do you put it? It looks like a clear soda that's been jellied. Almost in these glass tanks, and they're very carefully and quietly picking them up and moving, covering them in tarps, and putting some of them on carts and moving them.
Interesting.
So, stranger. Or I guess I should say Urvis. Yeah, you're following Urvis.
Yeah.
Urvis doesn't take you long to find Malathia. She's wandering the pavilion, out around this little interior palisade. You swear she sees you, but she tries to ignore.
She just keeps following her. And when she's finally had enough of her not acknowledging that, she just gives a deep
She just kind of crosses her arms and keeps walking.
Malathia, that's not going to work on me.
And she does stop. Turn around. And sign what?
We're going to be heading out soon. And if anyone gets hurt, I need you there to help them.
I'm not doing it.
We don't have that choice. If we don't help these people, then dozens may die.
Are you ever scared?
All the time.
You don't act it.
I'm over 200 years old. I've learned how to mask it.
Is that what I should be doing?
Do whatever you feel is right.
I don't know what's right.
You will in time. But until then, what do you enjoy doing that takes your mind off of things?
Kind of looks up. Stargazing.
Perhaps you should be speaking with the Desmonds in your off time then.
They don't like it.
Have they said that? Or is that just your internal thoughts?
Yomade wasn't my first choice.
She motions for Malathia to follow behind her.
She will.
I didn't necessarily want to join the cloth either.
That's my
Really?
sister. She ain't anyone's
Why?
first choice.
Because I wanted to stay close to my lady. She has a young son now. And her husband is certainly... Elves are not known for being adventurous. But he is. So it is often just her and the child. And elven politics are not above getting rid of competition.
I came to Yomade because of Finara.
She nods somberly at that, and I think if she could see how well you've grown since then, she'd be proud.
She shakes. She died because of me.
You did not pull the blade. You did not shoot the bow. She willingly made the choice to choose you.
Failure.
We're all failures in our own way. But what matters, Malathia, is that you don't give up. The moment you do, then you have truly failed.
Mm.
Gunner, you might
Kinda-
lean in just a little bit when you
sorry,
speak as
being
her.
quiet.
You're fine. Yeah, it cut out when you were like, "I'm frightened" or "I'm scared," or and I was like,
Mm.
"We understood what you said," because
Gotcha.
Context.
yeah.
Context, yeah. Gotcha. Trying to think what she would say to that. We should go.
Aye. The others are waiting for us.
And
With any luck, this will just be a long walk in the woods.
and to that, actually, I don't know if you've ever heard her whistle. It's kind of a it's kind of dry and a little raspy, but she does her impression of.
God.
You've been listening to the human soldiers, haven't you?
She shrugs, a little mischievous smile.
They love their songs.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to end that here for tonight.
Damn humans.
All right, let's go.
I'm human.
Oh, Mace.
Start with some sign-offs. Let's go with Computer King.
I'm Computer King, the supervillain of streaming, and I was playing Stranger, who is quite strange, yes. I also play 2 other characters in this little game, and whenever we can climb out of Urves's head, you might actually get to see them. On Sundays, I'm in Yakshas, which just moved there. Playing John Howler Zulu, who drives a big monkey mech. Yes, I said monkey. It's shaped like an ape. Its name is Kong. Yes, its name is Kong. I have to say it. On Mondays, I'm in Fireshrike. On Wednesdays, I run from Hinge to Mensch, where my players are supervillains right now trying to prevent the end of the world. Even though they're supervillains, this is the place where they keep all their stuff. And every other Thursday, I'm in New Amsterdam. Almost said New Hampshire. I'm in New Amsterdam, playing a character that dresses like a corp and looks like a young Forrest Whitaker. So other than that, when I stream, you can find me at The Computer King. In fact, tomorrow I should be streaming a watch party of the movie The Tomorrow War, which just came out on Amazon Prime, starring Chris Pratt, about people coming back from the past in order to recruit people to fight a war in the future. They better have a real reason there's not a paradox, otherwise I'm going to bitch the entire time.
Right.
Physics trumps quantum physics?
No, it's because they have to pull people from the past because they pulled people from the past, and that took people from the past that died in the war, so now they have to pull people from the past to replace the ones that were disappeared from the past in the future.
As long as they aren't people who directly or their descendants would do anything important to history, small alterations to the timeline might be considered acceptable.
No, that's why they had to pull people from the past, because they pulled people from the past, and those people they pulled from the past died, and so they don't have people in the future to fight the war, so they have to pull people from the past.
So,
if that makes sense to you. Continue.
Yeah, eventually they'll be grabbing Rasputin and Keanu Reeves. No. Yeah, that's it for me.
Alrighty, moving right along. Let's go ahead and talk to. Oh, let's go. Let's go the reverse. Scott.
Sorry, had to do medical surgery on Dobby. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm Scott. I don't know. I played Anduin. I'm kind of in here in the dream, and this is kind of weird, and he's getting kind of bored.
He wants to kill.
Yes. I thought we were going to a war. And then we're in a damn village, and we're not in a war. So
I mean, we can cause a fight to happen.
He's tempted.
You just gotta cut off someone's head. Anyone's head. Right in front of your vets.
Yeah. Okay. We'll remember that next time.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
What else am I in? What is today? Friday? We got Ballad of Menagerie we're supposed to do sometime. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm a captain. Whatever. Okay. Then Monday, we got Fire Strike. We're going to play Xander, who's trying to save the multiverse somehow by getting a bunch of codes. I don't know. And then I play Knight on Hinge to Mensch, which he's just as confused as ever. But it's fun. everything else is confusing, and I don't have a clue when it's going on. So pay attention. They'll announce when it's going to happen, and we'll be in it. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, moving right along. Let's go to Daniel.
Moving right along, moving right along. What up? Sassy McNasty here. We're in the memory realm, and it's weird, and we have all these theories, like maybe Malathia is not really Malathia, and it's just a guilty conscience of Irvest letting Malathia down, forming into a demon that's haunting her forever, and we have to figure that out and get her out of there, and let her know that she can forgive herself for the past sins of the past. Yeah, you can catch me here multiple days of the week. Let's see, today's Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Yeah, and then to save time, I'm not going to go through everything because I'm in a lot. So catch you all next time. Just did the Sailor Moon thing for some reason, but yeah, catch you all next time.
Alrighty, and James.
Hi ho, friendolos. My name is James, otherwise known as Nightheart. You caught me here today playing Rawl and Urives, the homunculus who's got a lot of weird theories going on, including why don't we just take the demon and push it somewhere else? Because imagine if we put a memory demon inside of Bob and we found out all of Bob's secrets.
Imagine if we put Urives's guilty conscience to another body, how that would turn out.
Fun. It's experiment. But
imagine if you made a homunculus and then stuck Malathia into it.
And push it somewhere else. Anyway, you can also find me here on Sundays where I run Yakshas, where yes, I have a crew of mech pilots who kind of did some bad things. I hope they regret the things they did. And now they're going to go to Nolans and have some fun. It's Mardi Gras all the time here at the end of the world. And you can also find me here depending on the Thursday. Well, you can also sometimes find me here on Mondays in the Fire Strike where I play Cyril Silverchild as a guest star. It's pretty much S. He should be called S because he's pretty much L, but no apples. And you can find me here depending on the Thursday either in Project Severova where I kind of play myself. It's really weird, really meta, really fun. Or on the other Thursdays in our New Amsterdam game where I play Dove, the solo who just finished his first big score and pretty much looked to this maid woman in the mafia who wanted to save this guy and was like, forget about it, it's Chinatown. I guess in this case, forget about it, it's Dutch Town. And that's me.
Alrighty. And my name is Cyrus Smith. Today you caught me running Tales from the Cosmos. You can find me on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and here on Sunday. I think that's it for me. Gosh, what are we getting out of here on today?
R.I.P. Rovagug cultists?
No, they were pretending to be dead.
R.I.P. theory crafting, I guess. All right.
Hell yeah. All right.
R.I.P. theory crafting!